What was the worst job interview you've had? Was invited for an IT helper position when I was 17. Would help fix computers for people at a Shirley PC fix shop. They asked me what's the first thing you check if a customer calls and says their screen doesn't turn on. I said, well, you gotta check if they have it plugged into a socket. They laughed and said thank you, that will be it. Then led me to the door and gently pushed me out. But that's the right answer. Honestly surprised at that reaction. 5 interview rounds, with the last interview round being with the CEO, all for an entry-level customer service job. During the last interview, the CEO said you weren't allowed to get sick, and you weren't allowed to leave at the end of the day until all of the work had been done. So even though the job was 8 to 4, the CEO said customer service reps often stayed until 6 p.m. or later. She also asked if I would be comfortable secretly reporting to her about what the customer service team is up to. I declined the job offer, and the company harassed me with emails asking why and what they did wrong. Really glad I didn't take the job. 5 interviews for entry level? That's insane. Also, I bet the hours between 4 and 6 were unpaid. It's bizarre they know they did something wrong but are so out of touch they can't see their own mistakes in front of them. When he said I'll give you extra hours if you bring me smokes every day, then put his hand on my leg and said his wife gives him passes to have fun. I also got a speeding ticket on the way to the interview. Was not my month. Would not have been surprised if you got a speeding ticket on the way home. Just not possible to get away from that shit fast enough. An agency sent me for an interview and said the starting salary is £33,000. The interview went fairly well until the interviewer said, so what sort of salary are you looking for? So using the info I had from the agency, I said, well, I think £33,000 is a fair starting point. The interviewer practically threw me out. He started to shout about wasting his time because I expected to be paid a huge salary, and who did I think I was? He was paying £20,000. And this is why I always bring a copy of the posting with me. I don't think it would have helped, and you probably dodged a bullet anyway, but one day it'll be useful. Salary negotiation is so weird. I once had an interview for an internship. I told them $12 per hour was fine with me. They then said, well, we pay $10.50 as corporate policy dictates, and it's non-negotiable. And I'm like, why did you ask what I wanted to be paid then? Should have just said we pay $10.50 per hour, is that alright? Job was for a vibration analysis engineer. I knew how to do the job well. I knew the pay should be around 95k, and they stated 55k in the interview. When I tried to discuss my point, they said, don't worry, there's plenty of overtime. They also mentioned since they weren't involved with many balancings at the moment, I would assist the cleaning crew with a lot of the cleanings. I've never been so uninterested in a job in my life. Vibrations analysis cleaning crew, that's a complicated way to say sex toy tester. Yeah, I have one that sticks out. I applied to a government branch as a network admin. The newspaper ad asked for a bachelor's degree. They called me into the interview. When I got there, the first thing the interviewer said was, we wanted someone with a master's degree. Why did you apply? Now, I wanted to give them the benefit of the doubt. Maybe they had other interviews that day and got them mixed up. Shit happens. I just informed the interviewer that the ad I applied for requested a bachelor's degree, and confirmed the position I was interviewing for. No, we definitely wanted someone with a master's degree. So, again, why did you apply? If you wanted someone with a master's degree, why did you bother calling me in for an interview? You're very rude and unprofessional. Yeah, you fucked up at every junction thus far, but I'm the one who's rude and unprofessional. I always have the job posting / description printed with notes on it. Had similar comments a couple times, and it's nice to have it right there. Once had an interviewer say, I don't know where you got this. Ah. You posted it. I copy / pasted. Not that bad, But I remember Taco Bell asked me what type animal I would be if I could be anything. Like WTF do you want me to say? I would be a fire ant so I could work efficiently with my closest friends. 16-year-old me said an eagle, because they're strong and they can fly. May. Whenever I'm making small talk or getting to know someone new, I always ask them what two animals would they be if they could mash them together. Me personally, I would be an owl and an octopus. Dunkin' Donuts asked me if you could be any color, what color would you be? I said yellow because it's a warm and happy color. I was told afterwards by a friend that this is supposed to weed out the racists. Had a phone interview and the woman kept asking more and more intrusive questions, kept hinting I'm a total piece of shit who's totally unfit for the job. It was the easiest job description ever, and jumping to conclusions about my life that were completely untrue. For example, I found out that being a freelancer who gets a lot of decently paid work each month is apparently living off my parents. She kept going on and on like that for quite a while before I told her to piss off and hung up. Didn't really need that job too badly, but it was in a different country, so the travel aspect was the main reason. Years later I found out it was a stress interview, which apparently is a thing. Fuck those people. Years later I found out it was a stress interview, which apparently is a thing. Fuck those people. The only thing stress interviews and similar are good for is giving the person being interviewed a chance to recognize a toxic hellhole and run. Seriously, interviews are a two-way street. Pay attention to the red flags you see when you're interviewed. Companies that do that are not worth working for. Edit, such a simple comment, but never had that many upvotes. Thanks everyone. Subscribe for more hot Reddit takes in your inbox, guaranteed.